Well, I didn't do it. I don't know what's going on. But anyway, we've already started. We've entered the live stream. Welcome everybody. We're here and we're doing a live stream today. And I have my cousin with me, my cousin Joseph. And I was kind of hoping that I was going to have his cousin, another. His name is Muaz. He has the same last name. I don't know. Is he related to you, Muaz?
That's my first cousin, man.
Yeah. He seems like a nice guy, you know. But anyway, my friend Joseph wanted to talk a little bit today about Sharia law and the benefits of Sharia law. And so, would you like to go ahead and go first? We're
No,
gonna
you go first, like always, bro.
5 minutes, 5 minutes, 4 minutes, 4 minutes, 3 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute, 1 minute. Okay.
You go first, like always. Yeah.
Okay. Let me go ahead and set the clock. Let me set the clock and. Okay, we're going to be doing it based on this timer here. And okay. All right. Okay, I started the clock for my first 5 minutes. I don't like Sharia law. I think Sharia law would not be a good thing. I think it is contradictory to American law, and it cannot survive in a Western Christian environment because Sharia law has many principles that, because Sharia law ultimately is based on the Quran. Ultimately, Sharia law is based on what Muhammad said. And if we look at
No. What Allah said.
what Muhammad said, it's not
Allah.
it's not consistent with Western values. Let me go ahead and let me just go ahead and show you a couple things about women. I was specifically interested in talking about women's rights, and in regard to Sharia law. And I don't believe one thing that the Quran allows. If we look at the Sharia law, if we look at the Hadith, and this is the Hadith of Muhammad, these are the words that Muhammad spoke, and I will go ahead and show it to you here. That Muhammad was talking to two women, and he said to them, "You know that there's more women in hell than men. The majority of the people in hell are women." And the women said, "Oh, Muhammad, why is that?" And he said, "Don't you know that it's because women are their witness, their testimony is worth half the testimony of a man, which is written in the Quran." And uh, and then at the very end, Muhammad explains why this is. This is the words of Muhammad. He says, "This is the deficiency of their religion and their intellect." So Muhammad is saying that women are deficient in religion and intellect. Now you see, in a Christian country, or in a country where there's human rights, you cannot say that a woman is deficient in her intellect. And so this is one thing of Sharia law that I don't think can coexist in a Western society. Okay. Another thing that the Quran says, and let's just look at let's look at what let's look at exactly. This is from the Quran itself. It says in the Quran, chapter 4, verse 34, about women. It says, "And those you fear may be rebellious, admonish them, banish them to their couches, and beat them." Now, in America, it's against the law to beat your wife. Now, the Quran, which is the source of Sharia law, says you can beat your wife. It commands you. In fact, it's a command: beat them. So, there's no way that could coexist in America, or in a Christian country, where it's against the law to beat your wife. Okay, but the Quran commands you to beat your wife. Okay, so this is another thing about women that is in the Quran. This is in the Quran itself. It says in the Quran that and bring to witness 2 women from among your men. And if there are not, 2 men. And if there's not 2 men, then a man and 2 women. And from those you accept as witnesses, so that if one woman errs, the other can remind her. So the testimony of a woman is worth half of a man. Now that doesn't work in a country where there's equal rights for men and women, because here the Quran, Sharia law, says that a woman's testimony is worth half of a man's testimony. Now that wouldn't work in a society that has human rights. Okay, and then there's one last thing about women, treatment of women in Islam, from the Quran, according to the Quran, that are inconsistent with human rights. And that is the fact that in chapter 65, verse 4, the Quran says it is permissible to marry girls before they reach puberty. That means that a girl can be married and divorced before she reaches puberty. So she might be 6 years old, 7 years old, 8 years old. This is in the Quran, chapter 65, verse 4. It says, and those of your women who have no hope of further menstruation, if you are in doubt, for their waiting period is 3 months. And also for those who have not yet menstruated, that means they are prepubescent, meaning they're probably 6 years old, 7 years old, like Aisha was when Muhammad married her. Now that cannot exist in a Western society. So that's why I don't think Sharia law would work in America. So, all right, it's your turn. You tell me when to start it. Oh, I can't hear. Oh.
You hear me?
Sorry about that. Yeah, I can hear it. Tell me when you want.
Okay, but Steve, I'm going to take my first 3 minutes and I'm going to talk, and don't cut me off just like I didn't cut you off.
Okay. You start.
For it. Okay. First of all, Steve, I wanted to tell you something. Okay. Your whole channel, I'm gonna go back to the Sharia law and everything you said. But your whole channel, Steve, you said you're 60 years old. I asked you a couple of times if you were handicapped, but I don't think you are, but if you were. But you're 60 years old, Steve. You said you deliver pizza, right? Can you answer that? Just so we can be clear, again, on live. That's my minutes. Yeah, that's mine. But can you answer? Do you deliver pizza?
Just do your 5 minutes, man.
Okay, so you said you deliver pizza, Steve. You're 60 years old and you keep saying you deliver pizza and you keep acting like you're delivering pizza. I got here the main thing today, and I'm going to answer your questions, but I want to talk just a little bit about this whole program that you guys got. If it is true that you are 60 years old and you are delivering pizza, okay, normally in Idaho or anywhere in this country, the first job you get when you're 13, 14 years old, you get delivering pizza. But if it is true that you are a 60-year-old who delivers pizza, there is no shame in that. But I'm asking you, if you are, okay, do you think honestly that you are the best one to do this show? No disrespect at all, but I'm just telling you that you are a 60-year-old that's delivering pizza. What makes you, or what makes Adam or whoever is running the show think that you might be, or you might do anything better for them or for your religion? Maybe there's someone else higher than you that maybe, you know, we can give and talk to. The thing is, when someone explains something to you, you don't want to hear it. Even if they explain it right, you don't want to hear it. If you don't like what they're saying, that means it's not true. If you hate what they're saying, that means you attack them and say that. The thing is, when someone explains something to Steve, if you don't like what they're saying, that means it's not true. If you hate, I'm hearing myself, Steve, again in my head. Them and say,
sorry, can you hear? Are you okay?
No, I'm okay now.
Yeah.
But like I said, there's no shame in delivering pizza, Steve. But the shame is when somebody explains something to you and you don't want to hear it. If they explained it right, you say it's wrong. If they explained it right and you get mad, you tell them, hope you don't know nothing about your religion. But it's not about that. It's not. I get up with you here a couple of times to explain to you, okay? But it seems like no matter what I say to you, no matter what I tell you, you're not gonna understand it. I think you are trying to build a channel over our backs and to get a few likes and a few comments. And honestly, I wish you the best. This is a business, okay? The way I'm looking at it with you, okay, you just want comments and business and all that. This would be the last time I'm gonna go out with you live, but I don't want you to think that I'm backing up. So I am gonna go through with you till you're done. So you don't, so nobody can say Joseph backed up of a fight or of an argument. But this will be the last time I am gonna go up with you, because I understood and I learned from you, Steve. No matter how much I try to explain to you, no matter how much people try to tell you, okay, you're not gonna understand it. You don't want to understand it. This is not a conversation, okay? Don't tell me that you love Muslims and you want them to go to heaven. Okay, it's not about that with you. Honestly, you keep saying that, but the way you attack Islam, that tells me the hate. I don't know why, okay? Your dad, honestly, bro, your dad was the best guy and nicest guy ever. Okay, I don't know what you guys have, your family problems, but I'm telling you from me, your dad was a good guy. Okay, and that's why a lot of people from there, Dubuan, would respect you, because of your dad, nothing else, okay? About you saying killing and you have to be killed because you backed up and Sharia law and all that. See, because you became Christian, if you would have just by yourself, okay, it doesn't have nothing to do with anybody. But see, the way you attack, the way you lie, the way you BS, half of the stuff you say on your videos are BS, Steve. You have my word, I told you a million times. I send you 1,000 videos, but you don't want to listen and you don't want to understand.
Time's up. Okay. I wish you told me you want to come on here and talk about Sharia law.
And that's fine.
You would have talked about it, but okay, you're free to do what you want. I did have one comment from I did have a comment from one of my cousins. His name is Farid Fawzi. He said, dude, how can you say that Muhammad married a 6-year-old girl? You know, this wasn't going to be our subject, but let me go ahead and read it to you. Farid, this is from the most respected source of Islamic hadith, Sahih al-Bukhari. This is the number one, next to the Quran, this is the number 2 book in Islam. Listen to what it says, Farid. Listen to what it says. It says, it was narrated by Aisha that the Prophet married her when she was 6 years old, and she was taken to him as a bride when she was 9 years old, and she took her dolls with her. He died when she was 18 years old. And you know, there's others. Let me read to you another one. You know, I'll just go ahead and make this my 5 minutes, because Farid asked this question. He says, dang, how could you say that? I want to tell you, Farid, this is known, Farid. This is Sahih al-Bukhari, Farid. And this is why, Farid, you should leave Islam today, because this is what Muhammad did. Look, Farid. This is Sahih al-Bukhari, okay? This is go ask your sheikh, Farid, if you think this is wild. It is wild. It says, the messenger of Allah married her when she was 6 years old and consummated the marriage when she was 9 years old. And he died when she was 18 years old. This is Sahih al-Bukhari. This is the most respected book of hadith, Farid. Farid, you're still talking about Farid. It says that Muhammad married Aisha when she was 6 years old, and he had sex with her when she was 9 years old, and she died, and when he died, she was 18 years old, and they were married for 9 years. He married her when she was 6, had sex with her when she was 9, and he died when she was 18, and he told her she couldn't get married after he died. Farid, I'm showing you, this is Sahih al-Bukhari. This is Sahih al-Bukhari. This is the number 2 book in Sunnah Islam. after the Quran. This is the biggest book. If you didn't know this, Farid, go ask your sheikh. And if it makes you sick, it should make you sick because it's disgusting. It should make you sick because it's disgusting. Farid, leave Islam. You have to leave. You can't follow this man, Muhammad. You know how old he was when he married her? He was 51 years old. You know how old she, and when he had sex with her, she was 9, he was 54. She was 9, he was 54. And you know what else, Farid? That many, many men do this now in the Middle East and in Muslim countries. And you know why they do it? Because Muhammad did it, because the Quran says Muhammad is the perfect example for all mankind. This is why, Farid, you need to leave Islam today. Leave Islam. Come to Jesus. Jesus is sinless. He never sinned. This is what Muhammad did. This is who you're following and entrusting with your eternal soul. So anyway, that wasn't going to be my second 4 minutes, but because Farid brought it up, I think it was important to bring it up. Go ahead. Go ahead, Joseph. Welcome. You can respond.
Sharia, about the Sharia law, and you keep telling women leave Islam. Okay, do you know that in Omar
and men. Yeah.
Oh, and men. Okay, but anyway, do you know in Omar there was the lady, the captain of the the souk, the market in Medina? It was a lady that goes around checking and making sure everybody made good and everybody did the Sharia law. The Muhammad you're talking about, okay, he used to do dishes with his wife. Did they tell you that? Okay, they don't tell you that, but he used to do dishes with his wife because that's the kind of man he is. But anyway, the Sharia law you're talking about, when there was Sharia law, okay, in the Middle East, it was the best law that you came up with. Okay, women are protected, men are protected. You go women's rights, you want to talk about women's rights and all that, women, she's always taken care of. Even if when you divorce, when you have a divorce right now in Ramallah, okay, or in Palestine, the women, when they get divorced, they take just like here, bro. There is no difference because that's what the Sharia law is. You give them this, you give them that, apartment, house, all that stuff. But you keep saying women and women. Okay, again on the first subject, bro. You go to the Middle East and you see how many women got beaten, and you come to here and you see how many women got beaten here. The other thing is Sharia law is the Quran, okay? You're attacking Muhammad for what he said in the book, but you are following a book that got written by stories. Just like we have the hadith, just like we have Sirat al-Rasul, you guys have that. You guys have a Bible that got written by stories. This guy did this, he said this, they did that. Okay. We have a book that came down from God, okay, it tells you everything. If it was a lie, it would not have told you how the baby is made. 1500 years ago in the Quran, it says in the Quran how the baby is made inside of a stomach. What bone moves. It tells you about the pressure under the sea. Okay, it tells you stuff that people got to know about 100 years ago when doctors became doctors and became x-rays and all that stuff. In your book, you have stories, Steve. And the thing is, your stories are not right. Okay, you keep saying Jesus. Jesus is mad with what you guys are doing. Jesus said it many times over, okay, in John and all your books, that he is not God, okay? He is a messenger of God. He is but human. So when you guys, okay, in Judgment Day, when God says everybody comes with who they pray to, you guys look at Jesus, okay? And you guys ask, Jesus is asked, did you tell them that you are God? He tells God that he did not tell them, but what you told me to tell them, that he gave them the message that God gave him. Okay, he's mad, he's pissed off at you guys in Judgment Day. I keep telling you, okay, you guys took two gods, Steve. That's the main thing. Two gods. When there is a God, you pray to God. That's why he made us to pray to him. When the devil came through the picture, he told you Jesus is God. He made you believe that. Your books are written like that after Jesus died. No one dared to say to Jesus, you are God, when he was alive. He would not have stood by and not corrected them. In your book, it says a million times stuff that you cannot change, where Jesus says, I am not God, I am a human. So how do you feel when you stand in front of Jesus and tell him, hey, I prayed to you? Jesus says, why did you pray to me when there is God?
Okay.
What do you say, Steve, about John? You want me to tell you the chapters?
Okay. No, you're done. You're done. Okay. You're done. Okay. You asked a bunch of things. I wish you would stay on subject, just because we were
trying.
Sharia law. Yeah, I want to stay on the subject. I'm going to continue talking about Sharia law.
Let's talk about Sharia law.
The number one reason I don't. Oops. Let me go put my 3 minutes. Okay. The number one reason I don't want Sharia law is because what it does to women. It allows the beating of women. It allows you to marry girls who are under 6 years old, like Muhammad did, and then also it puts women. Testimony is half. Their inheritance is half. Everything. So I don't like it. But I also don't like what you're going to do to me in the Sharia state. Okay, and I know
it's because what you're doing, Steve. Honestly,
dude, it's my turn.
Did you start? Okay.
I know what you're saying. It's because you're living in America. Yeah, and in America, there's no way that you're going to get your Sharia law here. But this is what happens in Sharia land. Let me show you what happens in Sharia land. This is a sheikh. This is one of the most respected sheikhs in the world. This is what happens when there's Sharia law.
لم يتركوا الردة ما كان هناك إسلام.
Steve, I can't hear you. I can't hear nothing.
وفاة الرسول عليه الصلاة والسلام. فالوقوف أمام الردة هو الذي أبقى الإسلام. كان انتهى الإسلام منذ وفاة الرسول عليه الصلاة والسلام. فالوقوف أمام الردة هو الذي أبقى الإسلام. وفي آية المائدة إنما جزاء الذين يحاربون الله ورسوله ويسعون في الأرض أن يقتلوا أو يصلبوا. جاء عن أبي قلابة وغيره من التابعين إن هذه جاءت في المرتدين، وجاءت أحاديث كثيرة، مش حديث واحد ولا اثنين ولا ثلاثة، أحاديث كثيرة عن عدد من الصحابة يعني في أن يقتل المرتد. حديث ابن عباس من بدل دينه فاقتلوه. حديث ابن مسعود لا يحل امرئ الا باحدى ثلاث: الثيب الزاني
والنفس بالنفس
والنفس بالنفس والتارك لدينه المفارق للجماعة. وحديث ابي موسى الاشعري ومعاذ ابن جبل وابي هريرة وعدد من الصحابة في مسألة.
See, I want you to see that this is what Islam does. And
I didn't see nothing. You cut me off, Steve.
You didn't see it?
No, I did, and you cut me off the voice too. But I'm watching. It's fine. Go ahead, keep talking.
Did you see Sheikh Qaradawi and what he said about what you got to do to the apostates?
I just opened the other page.
You're supposed to kill us because Muhammad said. Because okay, this is still my time. Muhammad said,
Keep going.
And the Quran says, if they forsake you, pursue them and kill them wherever you find them. Now, America won't let you do this. Or if you do it, you'll go to jail in America. But if there's Sharia law, which is what Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib and all of them want to bring, they want to bring to America, then you're going to have to kill me because that's what the Quran teaches. That's what Muhammad taught. So anyway, that's another reason I don't want Sharia law. Okay, now you got 3 minutes.
Okay. Steve, I'm not saying Islam is the religion of all, just the smart people. It's a religion of all people. But, you know, when I told you the Prophet and one of his miracles or one of the thousands miracles, He used to always ask Khalid's brother, okay, where is Khalid? Khalid is too smart. Okay, where is Khalid? He used to always ask, where is Khalid? Why is he late? Okay, because Khalid is too smart. He was one of the 10 generals in American history the other day. I was watching a documentary. He's too smart to recognize. Okay, Khalid became a Muslim. He became God's sword on earth. And he was the general that never got defeated. Just like Muhammad said, you are God's sword on earth and you will never be defeated. He never got defeated. He retreated one tactical and he went back and won the war. But anyway, the religion is for people to think. Okay, you can think by yourself to know what's right and what's wrong. If you, Steve, leave that religion, okay, that means you honestly, well, in your case, no, because you're not speaking Arabic. I don't mind a lot of stuff that you say because they're wrong and you're not getting them right, okay? But you left Islam, okay, you left Islam, just go by yourself and leave us by ourselves. Lakum dinukum waliya din. You have your religion and I have mine. That's what I tell everybody. I'm friends with everybody here because I believe that God said you have your religion and I have mine. And you left Islam and you're in Christianity, so you still believe in God. It's not like you're a Hindu, like that Adam friend of yours praying to a cow or praying to a sun. So you still believe in God at least, so there is hope in you. But the killing part comes because of what you're doing, Steve. You are lying. You are saying a lot of stuff that's not true. In any ways, you are. And if you would have just left Islam and went on your own, no one has nothing to do with you. But the way you're doing, you get on live shows. You don't want to hear the truth. You don't want to talk. You come up with a Bible and the Quran, a verse. I try to explain it to you. You don't want nobody to explain it to you. You want to understand it the way you want to understand it. So I came out to figure you out. And figuring you out is like what I told you, okay? If you are truly a 60-year-old who delivers pizza, which there is no shame in that, but if you are, which I hardly believe that, but if you are, then you are not the best man to be talking about Jesus and about Islam, okay? I am 32 years old, Steve, and if you are delivering pizza and you are 60 years old, there's a lot of space between you and me. There's a lot of space for you to catch up with me in life. So how are you defending Jesus? If you didn't do nothing in your life, why do you think you are the best guy to defend that religion? If you are not the best guy to build a good life for yourself, if you are a 60-year-old who delivers pizza.
Okay, thank you. I think my pizza.
And there's no disrespect on that.
I don't know if there's a Sharia law or a hadith about delivering pizza, but
No.
there is. You don't have to kill me because I'm a pizza deliverer. There's no hadith on that. But you do have to kill me because this is what Muhammad said. This is chapter.
You're talking
2.
lies.
This is what Muhammad said. It was narrated from Ibn Abbas that the Messenger of Allah said, "Whoever changes his religion, execute him. Execute him." Now, if you're telling me that you don't have to obey the words of Muhammad, that's another thing. But if you do have to obey the words of Muhammad, if the words of Muhammad matter, these are the words of Muhammad. And in any society, I would tell you, dude, get out of Islam now, because this is who you're following. The person who says you have to kill the people who leave Islam. Islam is like Hotel California. You can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave because you won't leave with your head because you're supposed to kill. And based on what you said, and you got to explain this to me, you said that if you just leave Islam and shut up, that's fine. But what I'm doing, lying and doing live programs and stuff like that. Now, are you saying that I am supposed to be killed? Are you saying I am supposed to be killed? That's a question I have for you. Am I supposed to be killed based on what you said? Because you said if you leave Islam and just shut up, everything's fine. But if you testify to Jesus Christ, if you testify that he changed your life, if I tell you what Jesus did on my life, I am supposed to be killed, then you're really, I mean, that's the whole issue, man. It's just like, you know what? I want to show you another video. I have another video I want to show you.
Don't cut me off, though.
You know what? I never cut you off. I'm not sure what's happening. Could be that you're selective hearing. You don't want to hear this. But I want to play this.
It cut off the screen, the whole voice, the screen, and everything. I had to go on the other page.
Okay, let me just put this on. I want you to hear this. Okay, I'm gonna hide.
I can't hear.
Ubaydullah ibn Jahsh has the saddest story. Ubaydullah ibn Jahsh converted to Christianity, and he was the cousin of the Prophet ﷺ. So when the Prophet ﷺ began preaching, he accepted Islam. And he married Salama. And they then migrated to Abyssinia. So he was a Muslim, but he became a murtad when he reached Abyssinia. And he reverted back to Christianity. And that was when, of course, Salama had to leave him, and he died shortly after that. And then the Prophet ﷺ proposed, and Salama became his wife. And there's a whole story there about Ubaydullah ibn Jahsh, which we don't have time for, but one simple benefit that we can derive from this, and it's a very important benefit. If you become murtad in a land that is not ruled by the Sharia, this is your freedom. You cannot do anything. So the whole question, I'm saying this now because our religion is being attacked. You guys have a blasphemy law. If somebody leaves a religion, you have to cut his head off. That's what we're told. The response is very simple. No. Our Sharia tells us that in lands that are not ruled by Islam, Ubaydullah ibn Jahsh converted back to Christianity. Nobody harmed a hair on his head. This is the land of Negus, the land of Najashi. Do as you please. It's not the land where the Sharia is going to be implemented. So in lands other than the land of Islam, there's no question the Sharia would say that we don't implement that. And of course, whether we implement or not, even in Islamic lands, there's a whole long conditions for that. Do as you please. It's not the land. Ubaydullah ibn Jahsh has the saddest story. Ubaydullah ibn Jahsh converted to Christianity.
Are you still listening to that?
Even in Islamic lands, there's whole long conditions for that.
So, essentially,
I heard it.
What he's saying, is that, when it is an Islamic land, then yes, we can kill you. And you know what? You know what, Joseph? You may not know this because you're a nice guy. You're a nice guy, and thank God you don't follow the Quran, because you know what the Quran.
Oh, no, I do follow the Quran. That's where you're mistaken. This niceness is because of the Quran.
It's my turn. Thank God you don't follow the Quran, because in chapter 532 it tells you what you're supposed to do to me. You know what it says? You're supposed to cut my hands and my feet off, and you're supposed to crucify me. That's what Muhammad said in Surah Al-Ma'idah, chapter 32. That's what you're supposed to do to the murtad. You're supposed to crucify them, cut their hands and feet off. That's the beauty of Islam, the peacefulness of Islam. Thank God you don't follow it. That's chapter 5, verse 32. You can tell me it doesn't mean what it says. You can tell me that the Quran doesn't mean what it says. I hope it doesn't, but the thing is, that around the world, the evidence is the Quran means exactly what it says. It is kalam mubin, clear word from Allah. So anyway,
so you believe in that? You believe it is kalam mubin, then, Steve? Well, only when you want to.
Okay, bro. You got 2 minutes to respond.
Okay, Steve, I was telling you, as in you, Steve. Okay, for about killing you and about all that, honestly, that's it's not a small thing to do. For me to kill a human being in the Quran, okay, even in the Quran, the one you're reading out of, it's not an easy thing to do. In the Quran, it says you kill one soul with no reason or no obvious, thing. It's like you killed the whole world. You cut me off, Steve. Did you? Steve.
Excuse me. Hey, Joseph, I'll be back in a minute. I have to take this call. Okay, go ahead and continue talking, bro.
No, I want you to hear it, so I'll wait.
Okay, I'm listening to. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that, man. I
Okay.
had a doctor appointment. ختيار بعمل بيتزا ولازم
No,
اروح
that's
بدك.
that's the thing that's not coming in my head. A 60-year-old delivery guy. That's not going in right, man. That's not going in right. That's okay. Anyway, as in as in you, Steve, okay, as you in general, honestly, you are lying. You left Islam, which everyone that leaves Islam, if you look at it, they're not getting it right. Okay, just like you. You say this means this, which it means a whole different thing. You say women this, which it means a whole different thing. It is, Steve. And my problem and my issue with you is even when I tell you that it means this and I prove it to you, you don't want to listen. Like the N-word with the black people, like slavery. You make a case where there isn't any, okay? That's on you. I was telling you in the Quran, it says you kill a soul with no reason, it's like you killed the whole world. You save a soul with no reason, it's like you saved the whole world. You have to keep that in mind too. Just like you guys have this, and then it says something against it, or it says something a whole opposite. Like in your book, it says in John that Jesus is saying that he is not God. Why are you guys believing he is God? But I know you don't want to answer that because you just want to attack. You don't want to answer anything. You just want to attack. You're talking about Sharia law. If you understand Sharia law, honestly, Steve, if you really understand it, you would love it. Okay? You're saying Britain. Okay? Britain. You have a comment that Britain is under Sharia law. I hope, man. I wish it is. If it is, you'll see how much difference you'll see in the world. Okay, not the Sharia law that ISIS came with. Okay, the Sharia law ISIS came with, that's business. And Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, their leader, is probably at the bottom of hell right now, and I'll tell you this. Okay, but see, Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi did not do what you're doing. I need you to understand that. Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi came to you with a pistol. ISIS made bombs. ISIS killed. ISIS did this and did that. Okay? But what are you doing, Steve? You are lying. You are taking a whole lot of people with you to hell. Because I don't know if it's business. I told you, man. If you want money, okay, you're from there to plan, bro. Call me and I'll help you. But if this is just to get comments and likes, honestly, if you're getting comments and likes because that's what you're doing on your video, then you're doing it wrong, Steve, honestly.
Okay.
And a lot of people are laughing at you.
They've been laughing at me for 40 years.
But the messed up part is that your dad, no, you cut me off. You were on the phone with a doctor.
Enough about my dad. Enough about my dad, okay?
No, your dad is the point.
Okay, no. Okay, but anyway, let me just say, I just want to say one thing about what you, 10 million things about what you say. Number one, I'm just showing you what your Quran says, and you're not believing it. You don't believe it.
I bet.
Thank God you don't believe it. But let me tell you about the verse that you said about killing of, if you kill one soul, it's like you killed the whole world. Let me just read it to you because you probably don't know. Let me ask you something. Do you know who that was written to? Oh, where'd you go? Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry. Pushed the wrong button.
Okay. Do you know who that was written to?
It was written to all Muslims. There is no single guy.
Okay, let me just tell you who it was written to. It says in that verse, read the whole thing. It says, we decreed upon the children of Israel that whoever kills a soul, unless for a soul, for corruption in the land, it's as if he had slain mankind entirely. That was to the children of Israel. It's not written to the Muslims. You want to know what's written to the Muslims? I'll tell you what's written to the Muslims. What's written to the Muslims is the next part. It says, indeed, the penalty for those who wage war against Allah and His Messenger and strive upon the earth to cause corruption is none
What you're doing.
than that they be killed or crucified and their hands and feet be cut off on opposite sides or exiled from the land. That's what's written to the Muslims. What you read about, which is Obama's favorite verse and CNN's favorite verse, that was written to the Jews. It says, if you believe the Quran, but I know you don't, and I'm glad you don't. Thank God you don't, because you would come kill me if you did believe the Quran. But thank God you don't, yani. That's okay.
Can I talk?
This is now. You got 1 minute left, and
Is this the last minute?
this is your last minute. Make it good, man. And please don't talk about pizza.
Point. Man, you got me going crazy that you're a 60-year-old pizza delivery driver. This is this is impossible, Steve. There's nothing funny about it. You either didn't do nothing in your life, and now you're trying to do live stream, which you are not going to be successful at. I promise you, you're going to fail miserably. Okay? Or you're lying about the pizza delivery. A 60-year-old man delivering pizza, Steve, come on. This doesn't go in the heads. Anyway, Steve, you are making points. When God says to them, to whoever, okay, He's not saying it to a certain people. When He says it, when you kill a soul, you kill the whole world. He's saying it to everybody. He's saying it to me. He's saying it to you. He's saying it to anybody. Just like you take verses in Islam and you don't wanna believe it. Okay, it's the same thing. Right now, I told you he's doing this. Okay, he said you kill a soul without a reason. It's like you killed the whole world. You don't want to believe it that it's for me. Now you're telling me it's for Israel and it's for those guys. Those are points that you always take points off. Okay, and you use the points you want. But let's do the way you do. He said it in the Quran. It's for everybody. You kill a soul with no reason, you kill the whole world. You save a soul with no reason, you save the whole world. Okay?
Okay, are you done?
I am done, but just to make a quick comment on the pizza. I'm not against you on that, Steve. But I'm just telling you, if it is true that you are a 60-year-old delivering pizza, you're not going to succeed on this, because 60-year-old delivering pizza, that means you didn't succeed in life. That's why in Hollywood movies, they put these 50-year-olds delivering pizza. They say, they make them as a joke or as potheads. But you're neither. Are you? You're neither a pothead or you're not a joke. So I don't understand why would you be, which is a lie. But if it's a lie, that means this whole thing, it's a business for you. And now I want to use this last seconds I got, because I want to tell all the Muslims to not. I'm doing this because this is the last time I'm coming out with you. I'm not going to have you build something that is not right on my back and on other people's back. So for nobody to come out with you, for nobody to leave comments with you, and for anybody to put likes with you, unless you talk the truth. Once you talk the truth, then we'll have a different conversation.
Okay, it's your last minute.
All right.
Thank you, Joseph, and please, you guys, here I put the verse here.
Have a good day delivering pizza.
Okay, but let me just read to you what the ayah says in the Quran. من أجل ذلك كتبنا على بني إسرائيل إنه من قتل نفسا بغير نفس أو فساد في الأرض فكأنه قتل الناس جميعا. لكن شو أول شيء بيقول من أجل ذلك كتبنا على بني إسرائيل. يعني this, and you know the thing about this also is that you can actually read this, because this was, like most of the Quran, it was taken from the Jewish sources. This was written in the Talmud hundreds of years before it was in the Quran. It's in the Jewish Talmud. This is a Jewish principle. If you watch the movie Schindler's List, he actually had a ring where it says, if you kill one soul, it's as if you killed the whole world. If you save one, it's as if. That's from the Jewish Talmud, hundreds of years before the Quran. Most of the Quran is either from the Bible or from the Talmud. And so,
or from God.
No,
from God?
well, the parts that were from the Bible were from God. Yes.
Because there is no Bible. The Bible is stories that you guys written about Jesus. In the Bible, it says Jesus said this, this, this. You guys don't want to believe it when Jesus says, I am a human.
Yeah.
He's not a God.
If
I
what
got a question for you. The people that killed Jesus, do they go to heaven or hell, Steve? The people that crossed him.
the Bible says, Jesus said, if they repented and accepted Jesus into their lives, they can go to heaven. Yes.
But it's God's will. It's God's will that they got crossed, that he got crossed. That's what you guys believe. If it is God's will that he got crossed, that means they should go to heaven. They were doing God's job.
Well, you know, the Bible says, unless you're born again, you will not enter the kingdom of heaven. It doesn't matter if you're Roman, it doesn't matter what you did. If you're not born again by the Spirit of God, you will not go to heaven. It doesn't matter
But
what you did
if they weren't born again,
or what. You have to be
if they weren't born again,
if they weren't born again, they went to hell. Yes.
okay, but it was God's will they got crossed. Why did they go to hell?
You know what? You know, it was God's will, but the people who committed it, you know, if they repented, they'll go to heaven. But you know,
But they shouldn't repent if it was God's will.
you don't know. You don't know.
The thing is, there's a lot of stuff we don't know about you and your book. It's just somebody writing stories. Why, if I wrote stories, would you believe me? I was with Trump. Trump did this, Trump did that, and I make a story about Trump's book. Do you know how many lies I can put in between my letters?
But you know
That's
what?
the Bible.
But you know what? You know what, bro? This isn't our subject today. But
Well, we ended, so I was just gonna ask you.
But let me just answer you. If our book is what you were saying, if our book is wrong, and if our book is what a bunch of stories, you know what? There's a verse in the Quran. There's like 15 verses in the Quran that says that the Quran came
Down.
to affirm what is in our book. 15 times the Quran says this, that the Quran came to affirm what is between our hands. And says, وَإِحْنَا أَنزَلْنَا التَّوْرَاةَ وَالْإِنْجِيلَ. And so it was not to affirm, it was to affirm the book that we have, which is the Bible. And so if there is that problem, and then you know what else it says? You know what else it says? It says that Muhammad came, the prophet came to affirm what is in our book. So
whose books? Whose books?
What we have. Our
No,
book.
bro. Your books is our stories. You know, I would rather believe in the Jew book more than you guys, because the Jew book, he was there. But you guys, somebody's writing stories. Why would anybody believe
You know
just
what?
a book that you can buy at a library? It's a story.
Like I said, you don't believe the Quran, and so, but I don't.
Oh, I do believe the Quran.
You don't believe the Quran. You do not believe the Quran.
You're the last one that should say that, because you don't even understand the Quran, Steve. How can you believe or not believe the Quran? As in Steve.
You don't believe the Quran. Saddiqni, you don't believe the Quran.
Oh, I do, Steve. Look.
But I'm happy. I'm happy that you don't believe the Quran.
Subhanallah, look, this Quran protects me. This Quran protects me. You see how many of them there is here? That's because I believe them. Oh, look at this one. That's another Quran.
I don't care if you got 100 of them. You don't believe
Because I believe them.
No, you don't. Thank you that you
Yes.
don't. Thank you that you don't. Thank you that you don't.
You're talking for me?
You
You're
don't.
talking for me?
The Quran.
Are you talking for me on my behalf? I never gave you permission to talk on my behalf, Steve.
You don't believe the Quran.
But you cannot talk on my behalf, Steve. Correct that.
You don't believe the Quran, because if you
Just so we can get that right, that's your opinion, right?
no, I know you don't.
That's your opinion.
No, you proved it. You proved it, because the Quran.
No, Steve. You proved that you don't understand the Quran at all. You proved it to me and to everybody.
You don't believe the Quran. Let me show you what you don't believe. Let me show you what you don't. You want me to
What's
show
that?
you don't believe?
Yeah, yeah.
You do not believe the Quran, and I'm happy. I'm happy you don't believe it, because I don't believe it either.
Oh, this guy's talking for me, man. This guy is talking on my behalf.
You shouldn't believe it. So I'm very happy.
I believe it. Subhanallah, I believe it.
I'm so happy you don't believe it. You know.
How can I argue with a 60-year-old pizza delivery guy that's talking on my behalf? How did I ever get in this spot? But okay, Allah. It's the last time, so
Okay.
just wanted to make it obvious.
Okay. Let me show you what you don't believe.
Mm.
What you-
You cut me off, Steve.
Okay, can
You
you
cut
read
me off.
can you read this verse for me?
I don't have nothing. I don't see nothing. You cut me off, and now I'm back. I don't see nothing.
Okay, wait a second. I want you to read this verse. I want you to read this verse. Can
I
you
can
hear me?
barely see anything. I don't see nothing on my screen. I'm looking at the other screen, but it's too small.
Oh, it's too small. Okay. اقراها.
نزلنا عليك الكتاب. I can't see it. It's too small, Steve.
You're
Wait.
just trying to avoid it. You're trying to avoid it. That's why.
Steve, there is no way. It's impossible for anybody to read that. Just
No,
to let you know.
No.
Here, look. I'm looking at it. Read this for me, Steve. How can I read that? Explain that.
1 second. 1 second. Okay, 1 second. Wait a second. I want you to read this. Okay?
نزلنا الكتاب بالحق. I can't see it.
You want me to read it to you?
Yeah, because look, Steve, I cannot see nothing.
Okay, I'll read it to you.
نزلنا عليك الكتاب نزلنا عليك الكتاب بالحق مصدقا بما بين يديه وأنزلنا التوراة والإنجيل.
What does that mean? Tell me.
They brought down the Torah and the Injil, but it's not the same Bible you're talking about. How many times did you guys change it?
No,
From that time to this time, Steve, how many times did you change it?
What does this verse mean? What does this verse mean? The whole verse. What does it mean?
That they brought down the 3 books. That's what I told Ron. I'm gonna tell you that it brought down the.
What does the verse say?
It means that they brought down the Bible and the Injil.
No. Read.
What does it mean?
You read it. Read it.
نزلهم عليها بالحق التوراة والإنجيل. That it came down.
What does it say about the Quran here? It says نزلنا الكتاب مصدقا.
مصدقا.
What is
ما بين يديك. What's in your hands?
What does it mean? مصدقا.
What's in his hands, though? What's in his hands? Steve, since you wanna translate our Quran, what's in his hands? Answer me that.
التوراة والإنجيل. التوراة والإنجيل اللي بين.
Okay.
You want me to show you more?
Yeah, but that's what I said. I rather believe in the Jewish book right now than yours, because from then to now you guys changed it 10 times, 11 times.
That's because you don't believe the Quran.
No, I believe that book. You know, in that book, he's talking about that you guys can't even drink. You know that, right?
This is Quran. You don't believe it. This is what the Quran says. You don't believe it. It says that the Quran came affirming the Injil and the Torah. That's what.
Which Injil? Which one? Which Bible? Which Bible?
You know what? It's
10 Bibles back. They're talking about the first one. Not the one where he says you can get drunk.
Can I tell you? Can I tell you?
Yeah.
It's the one that's been idehum.
Which one? Which one? Ben idehum. Which one is it?
There's only one.
No, there's 11. You guys did 11 updates, and that's where you guys are going wrong.
No. That you don't know that. This is give me. Proof.
You told me. I asked you how many times. You said 11. You told me, Steve.
Okay, even if that was the case, then the Quran comes musaddiqan illi bain idehum. So
because we believe it's the 3 books. We believe
your book is wrong.
We believe it's the 3 books of the world that they believe in God. You guys and the Jews and the Muslims. But when you talk about you guys, we're talking about the first one. Not the 10th, not the 7th update, not the 11th update that you guys did.
don't
The
believe
first one that it says that women will never be equal to men, right? That they are there, they are there
That's
to
the Quran.
deliver babies.
Muhammad said women are deficient in intelligence. That's what the Muhammad said. That's your Muhammad. That our Bible says there is neither male nor female in Christ. Neither
Yeah.
male nor female. In Muhammad said that woman is deficient of intelligence and religion. That's your
What about the book where Jesus says everyone is responsible for their own sin? Okay,
show me where it says that. Yeah.
Well,
You're just coming from your head what you hear on CNN, Bess. But anyway, brother, I gotta go. I gotta go deliver pizza.
hell again with the pizza BS.
Okay, bro. Thank you for being with me.
Steve, take me a picture with your pizza dress and you delivering pizza, because I cannot for the life of me believe that there's a 60-year-old defending Jesus and delivering pizza. So if you didn't do nothing in your life, like I said, what makes you think you're gonna do better defending Jesus if you didn't do nothing for yourself?
Okay. All right. Thank you for being with me. Thank you, everybody.
See ya, Steve.
Stay away from Islam. Farid, uhrub min al-Islam.
Stay away from what?